Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could make wealth inevitable? If specific beliefs led to specific actions, which all but guaranteed wealth creation for you and your family? Last week, we started this short series on the blueprint for wealth inevitability. We said that if you do the things that wealthy people do consistently over time, wealth becomes inevitable. It's logical, right? We also said this is how God created the world. You plant seeds in fertile soil, you'll create a harvest. Welcome to the download. If you're a Christian and the only verse you ever heard about wealth was the one where Jesus told the rich young ruler to sell all his possessions, i.e., wealth is bad, then this show is for you. God created wealth, and God desires many of you to learn how to create it and maybe even enjoy it. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. If this is your first time, I'm Judson Morgan. I'm a recovering scarcity-aholic, son of an economist, grandson of a preacher, and my companies have generated over $100 million in revenue. I'm here to walk into an ever-increasing understanding of what Jesus offers when he promises us the abundant life. I discovered this idea recently that really helped me reframe some of my scarcity thinking and poverty mindset from growing up. It's this: abundance is my birthright. Abundance is your birthright. God has promised us a life without lack. We are heirs in his kingdom, but we get stuck, living lives of confusion, unsure where to go, how to walk in abundance. Last week, we talked about auditing your time because time is finite. What you do with your hours becomes your life. You can't get it back. So becoming aware of how we're spending our time is the bedrock of wealth inevitability. And we also talked about Pareto's law, which says that 20% of your activity gives you 80% of the results. If you didn't catch that episode, start here. Today, I'm going to take you back to freshman year, Wealth 101, the class they never taught. Isn't it just completely nuts that we go to school for all of these years, like 18 years, and we are never taught this one concept, how to create wealth? It's an absolute travesty. And unfortunately, I don't think it's an accident, but that's an episode for another day. Most people don't know these basics, so they never get on the path of wealth inevitability. Without doing these steps, wealth will elude you. Please listen and start doing these simple steps. This is the fork in the road. Most people take the wide open path that leads to destruction. If you are called to provide for your family, if you feel led to create wealth, you must take the narrow path. And that begins with something so simple, so basic, so obvious that we overlook its power. You ready? Make more money. I cannot tell you how many people miss this. Ask yourself this question: could you be making more money? I hope your answer is yes, because that's the truth. You could be. Every single one of you, including me. That's hurdle number one, the acceptance that you are making less than you could. And notice the word that I'm saying there, make. Not take, not get, make. God has given you the power to create wealth, to make it. We are trapped in the lie that if we get more money, that we are taking it from someone else. But that's not how it works. When we provide value to the world, it increases the total value that exists everywhere. That value that you created didn't exist before you created it. So for example, if I hire someone on my team and that person drives more value creation to my business, the clients benefit, the company makes more profit, and their take home goes up. Everyone benefits. The clients, the business, the owner, and the team. If you think of money as a fixed pie where there are winners and losers, you'll be a loser. It is not a fixed pie. It's a garden of ever-increasing harvest. The key is value creation. Value creation leads to wealth creation for all involved. So the question becomes, how do we create more value in the world? We'll divide this into two buckets. One is intrapreneurial value inside a company that somebody else started, and two, entrepreneurial value inside a company that you started. Here are a few ways you can drive more value in the company where you work, which will translate to more happy customers who pay the company more, and the employees who drive results for the company they work for are the ones who get paid more. That's how it works. So, number one, increase company revenue. Make more sales. Add revenue streams. I know many of you don't think that's possible in your position at whatever company you're at, but it is. Let's take my video production company, for example. Let's say someone on my team is a video editor. What could she do to drive more revenue or sales? She could deliver such incredible work that the client is blown away and signs up for more videos for our company right away. She could send cold emails to companies she knows through her network offering our video services. She could take ownership of a project to such a level that it frees up the producer or the sales team to spend less time on the product delivery, giving them more time for sales or revenue growth activities. Does that make sense? This is true for anyone in a service-based company or a client-based company. Do not fall into the trap that you are not in a growth position in your company. You are. Now, if you are a cog in a big machine and you feel stuck in a non-growth situation, find a new job. Or talk to your boss about your desire to drive value for the customers of the company, and he or she will tell you how to do that. And when they see that you're executing on that, and you're doing what they told you to do, they will increase your responsibilities. Do this consistently, and you are on the wealth inevitability track. When you are a value driver, when you get results, your company has to pay you more or another company will. So if you see that you're not getting the increase in compensation, start looking for a company that rewards growth. Every good company is that way. Money follows results and value creation. Okay, so that's intrapreneurial value creation. How about entrepreneurial? The place I like to start for most people is a side hustle. Most of the time, I don't recommend you quit your job and go all in on a side hustle until it's proven. There's no reason that most of you cannot, if you're serious about climbing the wealth ladder, build a side hustle that eventually replaces your job. You work your job from 9 to 5, and you work your side hustle from 5 to 9. That's the path out of financial scarcity. Check out my episode on side hustles if you want to choose this path. Side hustles can be from home. They can be from your laptop. Think about skills that you have from your job. Offer those to clients in your network. Think about value that you offer your friends and family. Things that they're often asking you to help them with that you're naturally good at. And then you offer that as a service to businesses in your area. I remember when my brother had a great side hustle like this. He's really good at tech, dealing with people's technology, computer setups, home automations, stuff like that. He was helping people for free all the time because he just knew how to fix people's tech issues. So he turned that into a side hustle and made some good money doing it. Side hustles are great, but maybe you're starting a company, you own a company, or you want to start one. The key is value creation. A company succeeds or fails based on the level of value it creates for the world. Naval Ravikant says it this way: wealth is created by providing society with what it wants but doesn't yet know how to get at scale. Or, of course, the great Zig Ziglar says it this way: you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So that's step number 3. Make more money. Money follows value. We started in this series with audit your time. If you didn't see last week's episode, we gave a free time audit resource that will help you unlock and get clarity on where you're wasting time. Number 2, you want to spend as much time as possible doing the activities that drive results. We call this 20% activities. Look up Pareto's Law. What are the things in your life that give you outsized returns? Do more of those and less of the rest of the stuff. And then number 3, make more money. I know it sounds too simple, but putting your focus on increasing your income is a step that too many people never take. They keep the same job or they wait for little raises every year, and this is not going to get you wealth inevitability and the abundant life. It's just not. Now, once you've done steps 1 through 3, the next step to make wealth inevitable is also super basic, super easy to understand. Save more than you spend. If I learned anything from my dad, this is the thing. He really understood spending less than you make, and it served me really well. But the thing is, this is the fight of your life. Everything in culture tells you to spend. You get thousands of marketing messages thrown at you on a daily basis that tell you need to buy things: clothes, cars, food, etc., etc. Remember, most of that stuff you do not need. It doesn't make you happy, and it's robbing you of your future. Normalize the dopamine hit of not buying something. It can be just as good as the dopamine hit of buying something, trust me. But this is the opposite of what our culture teaches. I was just at Disneyland with my kids, and it's nuts. But when each ride ends, they funnel you right into a gift shop. What are my kids supposed to think? Oh, this is the time to buy things that we just experienced. The experience of the ride wasn't enough. Now they need to buy something to remember the ride? Confusing. Everything you buy at Disneyland ends up in the trash. I asked my daughter why she wanted Mickey ears, and she said that she wanted to wear them the next time we came to Disneyland, which thankfully she understood was absurd as soon as she said it. Let's get really practical here. Here are 2 ways you can spend more than you save today. Number 1 is to know what your expenses are. Most people don't. It's called a budget. I don't like that word, but that's what it's called. I spend this much per month and make this much per month. What you have left over is your savings. Use ChatGPT and list out your large monthly expenses and tell it your monthly income and have it create a budget for you in whatever form you like. It could be a Google Sheet or Google Doc. For many of you, this would just take 5 minutes. Even if it takes an hour, it's absolutely worth it. As Peter Drucker says, what gets measured gets managed. If you like an easy way to do this, try this. Use one credit card that you pay off monthly. You do not carry a balance ever, okay? We'll talk about wise credit card use later in the series. You take all those credit card expenses, it's all there in one credit card, plus your mortgage, rent, etc., and subtract them from your monthly salary or take home. Don't forget to include your tax bill if you are not on a W-2, since you'll need to pay that separately. You want to maximize the savings or profit number. Savings, profit, same thing. Most people are driving blind. If you don't know your numbers, you're not on the path toward wealth inevitability. But this is not what I do. I've never created a personal budget. I have a different strategy, and it's worked for me and my family, so I'm going to share it with you. This is what it is. And it's simple too. Spend way less than you make. That's it. Instead of budgeting every penny, I make sure I'm spending way less than I make. And I did this even when I wasn't making much. Talk about counterculture. Using this strategy means that it's not a matter of getting by, it's a matter of how much I'm going to save. But how do I make sure I'm actually living this way? I lump all my largest monthly expenses into one bucket. That would be housing, food, car, there as well. If you have debt, add that there as well. Let's say that total is $3,000 per month. If I'm making $7,000 per month, I know I'm not even close to going into the red. I have always kept my major expenses way below my means. This way, I'm not stressed about monthly bills or the extra things that come up, and I'm working towards saving more. If you can do this one thing, make sure your largest expense bucket is less than 50% of your monthly income, you're on the road to wealth inevitability. And then, as your monthly income increases, your expenses can increase, but not right away. This is the secret to wealth inevitability. Make delayed gratification a way of life, okay? I'm talking about skipping out on consumerism. Enjoy everyday life. Live abundantly now. Just delay the accumulation of stuff. Let me grab the whiteboard really quick and I'll show you what I mean. This will prevent you from getting on the hamster wheel of lifestyle creep that has bankrupted so many people at every level of resource. Okay, I thought it'd be nice if you could visualize this really quick. So this is our income or our salary growth as we go through the years. Let's say there's a decade. We got $3,000, $6,000, $12,000, $24,000 a month. And that's the growth of your salary. What most people do is they have, let's say they start out at $2,000 of expenses. So you've got a $1,000 margin here. That's your savings. And what most people do in their lives is they do this. They just keep their expenses right at the level. So we've got $22,000 of expenses by the time we get here, right? And so what has happened is that we're just as broke as we always were. We've increased our savings from $1,000 to $2,000, and you don't feel wealthy, and you're still just as broke as ever. This is what I'm suggesting instead. Let's get rid of this. We don't want to live like this. This is what we want to do instead. Ooh, let me get that. Okay. We want our graph of our life, of our margin, to look like this. Right? So we're going to go, we've got 2,000 here. We start out, we've got a $1,000 margin. And then we get up to 6,000 in salary or revenue. And we're going to increase our lifestyle expenses a little bit. We get to 3,000, which equals more of a margin. We started with 1,000. Now we've got 3,000, right? And we're going to continue that path. And now we're going to go, we're going to continue that path here. We're going to go to 4,000. So we're increasing. We're adding a little bit nicer car. We're adding a nicer apartment, whatever, through the years. But look at this. Now we've got $8,000 a month in savings. Even if you brought that to 5,000 and this was 7, you're still doing really well. And then by the time you get here, let's say we even increase this to 10,000. These are our life expenses here. And now we have 14,000 per month in take home. And this goes into investments and build your nest egg, build your wealth inevitability right there. This is the path to wealth inevitability, as opposed to keeping your expenses the same throughout the years. We're creating a path toward true wealth. Generational wealth happens here. It does not happen here. Keep these expenses down. Wealth building isn't complicated. It's simple. Not easy, but simple. Most people don't do it. As soon as most people make more money, they spend more. They have the black line going right along with their revenue growth. Even if you have a lot of wealth, if you upgrade your lifestyle every time your income increases, you will not feel wealthy and you will slow your growth. And if you go down the lifestyle upgrade trap, you'll most likely bankrupt yourself. Upgrade your life more than your lifestyle. Let me say that again. Upgrade your life more than your lifestyle. It's not about lifestyle. It's been said so many times, if you want to be wealthy today, lower your needs. If you want to feel wealthy forever, never need a lot of stuff. That's all you got to do. A person can be extravagantly rich but not feel wealthy, and a person can have very little money and feel wealthy. Who do you want to be? Too many Christians are afraid of material wealth. They think the Bible teaches that we shouldn't be wealthy, or that if you create a lot of wealth, that you'll make an idol out of it. And as I sought the Lord, listening to the Holy Spirit in my own life, and asked God to give me wisdom to pass on to you, this is what I've heard over and over and over again. God is calling many of you to create wealth. You can live in submission to God's will for your life. You can store up treasures in heaven, and you can create kingdom-sized and kingdom-purposed wealth during your life here on earth. There should be more wealthy stewards of God's resources, not less. If you digested these first 4 steps, if you begin to implement them into your life, you will be on the path to inevitable wealth. This is how the system was created, by a loving God who doesn't need money, but often chooses to use it for his purposes, for your family and your loved ones, and for his kingdom. Okay, quick recap. 1, audit your time. Do this on an ongoing basis, maybe every 6 months. 2, utilize the 80-20 principle. 3, learn to generate more money through value creation. And 4, spend way less than you make. Next week, we will tackle a few more specific strategies for making wealth inevitable. We'll look at automating your savings, how to manage credit cards wisely, how to manage your largest expenses, and the importance of managing your taxes. If you benefited at all from this episode, sometimes the show feels like it's talking into the void. I know it's making an impact, and I'm hearing from some of you, but it would mean a lot to me to hear from you. I believe wealth is inevitable for you. Do you? Let me know by commenting below. Also, I know there are so many folks out there who need to start down the path of wealth inevitability. Would you share this episode with them? It really helps spread the message to those who can benefit the most. We need each of you. A massive wealth transfer is coming over the next couple of years. There is no time to waste. As always, there are links below the episode where you can grab the 30 wealth basics that you never were taught in school, or you can grab the time audit sheet that we talked about last week. You can sign up for our email list and we'll send this to you. Or if you're interested in working with me directly, I'm taking a few one-on-one clients to work with you on a monthly basis as you build companies or just begin this process of wealth inevitability. You can go to judsonmorgan.com and send me a message if you're interested. And of course, seek first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, and all the rest will be given to you. That's the pot.